Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna make a little live video here in which I'm gonna try and, if anything significant happen in this gameplay, I'm gonna try and explain it so that you people can, in general, get better by just playing the game in general. Like, this is gonna be a very casual video. Not to mention, I had so much fun this gameplay and this game in general, and the people were nice. I'm actually on a nice lobby streak of 3, so to say the least, that's actually going quite well. I figured I would just make a very casual video for people who, like a couple of you people, you're like, I want to watch him on stream, but the thing is that my internet is just poor enough for me to not be able to stream, but it's actually by far good enough for me to upload 4K 10-minute videos, which the files end up on being like 3-4 gigabytes big, but that is, how long a night time goes for me when it comes down to upload speed. So anyways, math aside and bullshit internet aside, it's some sucky bullshit, and to compensate for it, I figured it would be fun to just make this little live video here. So, I don't think I should mention and just point out too many basic things other than that. First, I tried to be very cautious. When we started, I was like, alright guys, what's up? And 3 of the other people, or maybe 4, had mics at this point right here. And then I called, I want to play long, and it was okay, so I just decided to take it. But later on, I flipped it up a little bit, because I prefer that people play where they are, where they enjoy to play. So by that logic, it's actually just smart to let them do that. Not to mention, I actually like to play short or long, but it often depends on the playstyle of the enemy. So from there on, I just fluctuated through. Sometimes I played mid-lane, and you'll see that eventually. And from there on, we just did what we wanted to do, and it worked out. Not to mention, we did not have whiny teammates. We had teammates who called, and as you can see there, he boosted me up. I was like, in my head, I should boost him, but nope. So, we just we just did what the fuck we were supposed to do. And as you can see here already, the enemies, they they had a lot of good plans, but they couldn't really execute them. As you can see here, I just fucking hugged that guy to high hell and he got wrecked. But then they kept on pushing to B, and I was like, you know what, I can backstab that guy right in the face, and it worked. So from there on, we were like trying to find out what happened, and with that last guy actually getting headshot just about through my head, because he hit me in my face. Yeah, that was a very fun first round, despite the enemy just not being able to do anything. I'm pretty sure that they could have ran us over if they actually initially just went for long. So what we can learn from what the enemy did there is that you should not overthink stuff too much, okay? That's not good in general. Like, they could have been able to do stuff if they also were, like, looking for them, because in that kind of way, they were outthinking us. But they were actually outthinking us without a plan, which, in general, that's just a terrible idea. So here I went for the MP7, mainly because I was gonna play somewhere up close. Very, very lethal gun, but you can at best just get 2 kills. So I don't recommend doing it too much. But as of late, I've like gotten in love with having 30 bullets instead of 64, and knowing that I'm like incredibly more lethal than just bisoning away. Because Bison is a fucking shit gun, so there isn't anything to argue against that. Here my teammate helped me out, as I called it, and I was just unlucky. That bullet, I believe, hit 21 or 22 through the wall, if I recall. So that was me just being unlucky. I guess we should take a look here at the other yeah, nice scouting there. The other teammates. He actually did quite the nice job as well. Here we got Okra at middle. He had actually lurked all the way up there. That's pretty nice. But yeah, we already had the bomb, I guess. Like, when I'm watching the replay right now, in my head, everything goes so fast and I get all the information instantly. But when I'm, like, watching the replay, I realize that I actually I am so much better of a player playing the game rather than spectating. It's quite interesting to see what you miss or what you don't miss of all the information. By the way, people, there is an information game in this game, if you didn't know. The positions of the enemy is so fucking crucial. But you also have to play it right, okay? So our teammate had a lot of fucking intel right there on the enemy position, in which the other teammates right here, Fury and the serious guy, they were actually able to get that because he actually had a mic, and also where they went and stuff like that. Like, that was no big deal at all. But rather the fact that he messed up, that's a little bit more on him. Yeah, by the way, Sirius had lag for quite a nice bunch of time, but he was still able to call stuff and stuff like that, so that was pretty nice. So yeah, next round, let's see what our heroes are up to. Where the fuck am I? Wait, Okra, Fury is 2 people? No, what the fuck? Oh, I misclicked. That's my bad. Just being a goon. So yeah, another fun thing in this match was that we were never able to properly build up an economy. The fun thing with the enemy team was that they actually went for so many ops. I'm not even sure what the fuck they were doing. It could be the fact that they actually got the bomb. Yeah, here I actually learned a valuable lesson of how aggressive the enemy team could be. But they didn't do that more than once. So it was in vain even if they actually got the gun and got that play, if you get my point. So yeah, sucky for the enemy team that they actually were able to find such a big flaw in our system, but they didn't exploit it any further, so I guess that is to blame on them. Like, they did not apply the pressure, they were playing very scary and like just frightened in general. Yeah, here we got the Pro 19 work. I'm so to speak glad he doesn't have a skin for the gun, but on the flip side, I don't really, you know, I don't dislike the P90 anymore, because it's so fucking inaccurate. My M4 is gonna beat it any day. So yeah, that's round 3 passed by. I forget that's, yeah, you see, I forget that I only have 4 fingers. Yeah, because I have the fingers on like 1 to 4, but then the 5th you have to switch. So yeah, whatever. Alright, new round again, and as you can see, I just scavenged up a shitty bison for my teammate. Wasn't really anything to do there, other than the fact that I knew that I had jack shit for money, and that we'd had to try and actually build up an economy. So I decided to go for the gamble and all my knowledge and skill with the bison, and try and see if we could push and do something with it. With the enemy here not doing what they were supposed to do, and with us being 2 on short, I figured that we could try and make some worth of it. So I decided to ask him to get boosted, and it did. We already had info that one was dark and that one was middle by the nade that he threw on short. You can see that. Here he is trying to go for a fight here. Let's get this perspective. I actually was able to pop fire him. It's really difficult to do that with the P90. He's about to go down though, if I remember right. But yeah, he did his worth, and from there on I was like, you know what, they don't realize that there are 2 people here, so I'm just gonna snag around here and be a little bitch. Thankfully my teammate actually reloaded, so yeah, me keeping the... Actually, that was kind of interesting, I didn't know that. I actually applied so much pressure on short, now they got even more insecure. Oh my god, these enemies right here, they need to just play the game more. Like, if you're gonna play CSGO, don't be scared, it's only a game. If you know that your game and your machine and your abilities are up to par, or you know what the fuck you're doing, you will be able to do some serious stuff here. Yeah, alright, so LT Dan, let's see, he's number 9. Yeah, he actually didn't have any armor. I didn't know how much I hit him, but yeah, that was quite significant. Yeah, the 7 guy, let's see here, X7M, he was able to stop the push for long there, but that was enough for us to get all the intel, so we had already rotated a little bit. Now, he did not get the intel of the site itself though, but me having a P90 hurting that guy and our 2 guys going down further here, you know, everything here was set for us to be able to make it. Exactly what happens here, though, I don't remember. Actually, I think we might have lost this round. So it wasn't like... A lot of these games, it was really fun to play them, because, like, the enemies that were doing a lot of shit that worked here and there, but it was also so obviously done that, like... It just like, the game become fun. Like, in this game here, there was a lot of game going on, and with CSGO... there's actually a lot more to the word. Okay, I'm gonna explain right here. So you have the economy game. That's about the money and stuff like that. Yeah, he didn't look. That was how we ended. It's about money and stuff like that. If you know how to play the money game properly, you can actually be able to get a lot more out of your rounds in terms of skill and killing the enemy, but not only that, getting more good opportunities. From there on, you have the information game. The information game is essentially just about information. If you somehow can be able to get some kind of intel about where the enemy is going and what they're doing, that's actually super good. It will allow you to do a lot of things that you're not normally supposed to do. In which that just, like, if that I actually fell there. If that aspect is also filled, like, the game becomes a lot more interesting. Like, trust me, if you are that good at the game, or if you have played games for that long, if you can actually take all that information that is constantly being pumped out into the game to use, that's gonna be so valuable. Like, for example, here, I knew that there was, like, 2 people at least at long, and me peeking out there, we knew that there was still long. I don't think I hit him, and I actually didn't. But, yeah, shit happens. Here I got a glare of, like, 3 people, so I call that. And, like, despite my death, that was quite an interesting little happening there. So, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, Okra, he tried to blast some with the M4, but that was all in vain. We didn't actually know how many people were around the site. Not to mention, they did not actually go for a plant initially either. So that was kind of stupid of an enemy, but, you know, what can you do? So, yeah. More about the games themselves is...
I guess you could call it the mind game. So I've already mentioned the money game, the information game. Then you have the mind game in which you're playing against the enemy, and the enemy is doing different things. Why So Serious actually did a great job at keeping his cool. He was cool all the time. Here in this very moment right here, despite lag, despite having an AWP up close, he was able to play all the right things, like despite missing shots. So the mind game is also a very, very important thing about CSGO. It's mainly about keeping your cool, keeping up the focus, and constantly looking at where and what you should do next. Because if you know all of those things, you will be able to act a lot better than what you could or should do in order to be able to win, and it's gonna be a great asset for your team. It's gonna be one of the best tools and most important tools in the longer gameplay kind of thingamabob that will allow you to get better. A little fun thing about the mind game is that it gets worn. It's almost like a rock that you have to grind through in order to reach a treasure. Does that make any sense? As if the treasure is grinded into the soil or the mountain itself. But the more you play and the more shit that you experience and the more stuff you get to understand about the game and how the game works and all these kind of things, it will allow you to play the game in such a way in which you don't really get annoyed by bullshit because you actually know what the bullshit is. I've like experienced this myself. I'm actually talking from pure experience. And the reason for that is because I have motherfucking 5,000 hours of annoying, shitty Call of Duty in my back. And eventually I did so much research about the game, I finally understood how I can get bullshitted in every goddamn way of that game, okay? So it comes without saying that despite playing a shitty fucking Call of Duty game, I got a lot of the basics in gaming done to me in that sense, and so that was probably the main reason for why my initial rank got so incredibly high when I had only played 10 games of CSGO competitive, which was Nova 4 by the way. So I was pretty pleased about that, and I mean it's only gone upwards despite the shenanigans that has happened of late. But yeah, that was just a quick little tangent about the mind game. Where else should we head on to with the games? Yeah, well, obviously you have the game. Excuse me, I had to burp. You have the game. Wow, he did a good play right there. The game. What the fuck are we supposed to call that? Well, it's a package of everything that we are doing. I guess that is what makes the most sense in me. The game, that's essentially what you play. It's the entire fucking thing, okay? It's the mind game, it's the money game, it's the information game, and then you have the game itself. I guess you could say that there might be other things to mention in terms of this mindset, that there are sub-games in the game itself, but it's not too important. The important thing is that that is mainly the categories that you can play within, and so if you get really crystal sharp at all of those kind of aspects, you will actually become a really, really solid player. Like for example, the information game, in that sense you need to be able to call properly, you need to know how to play certain areas, and you need to understand what that information that you're getting could mean. Here for example, I actually heard that one ran away, but the fact that the one was still, you know, fucking around there, I just dinked him right in the face. So, you know, you gotta make it short if you get the chance. But again, that is more about the game. Like getting good at shooting, getting good at moving around in the game, understanding all the more advanced things in the game and stuff like that. I guess that should be categorized in it. So yeah, about the money game though, there are some important things there that people just... You need to know this, okay? So with the money game... here I actually got flanked, I had no idea. With a money game, it's actually really important to understand that the more money that you can spend or the more money that you can make the enemy just lose, the better it is. Everything from using a cheeky gun like the mag there to get 900 bucks from one single kill instead of 150 or 300 by using the AWP that our not main guy, the X7M guy have right here. Like, small differences like that could mean that you could actually technically do a complete buy or something close to a complete buy instead of just a partial buy, as they were actually able to do a proper save there. While in other case scenarios, it could just be that you should run over the corpses and or just be open-eyed and look around on the map for like random grenades that has dropped by corpses and shit like that. So if you don't know about corpses and how they drop grenades, if the dude that you kill have a grenade, the most expensive one will drop. I'm not sure about grenades and smoke grenades, but I think smokes, they fall before the grenade. But then again, there's a Molotov before the smoke again. But again, that makes sense by price, so that's nothing to argue against that. Yeah, here I decided to do a cheeky play. I'm pretty sure it worked out, and it was the main reason for why the enemy lost this round, but I didn't get any MVP for it or anything. Like, we now knew that the bomb was there, and that a couple people were at tunnel. I even hit that guy. Nope, I didn't. Fuck's sake. I don't properly remember a lot of things, but like in my head I knew they were coming, so that was just me screwing up as I'm chilling there. But yeah, what were we gonna say about the money game? Well, I've already mentioned that like the best nades drop and you should look for them, but not only that, you should try and at the end of the round save a gun. If that is not done, you should okay, let's say that you can upgrade, like you're at round 3 and you were only running a FAMAS on CT side, then it could be very nice for you to upgrade your gun so that you could be able to, you know, fight the enemies better with an M4A1 instead. In that sense, you should actually think about tossing your gun away. You can do this in 2 different ways, in which I'm actually, like, I never got told this. I had to observe it, and after a long time, I actually got to learn it. Right before the round is over, like, let's say that at round 4, you're gonna buy something. But at round 3, when you are done, you're standing there with a shitty gun. If you toss it out into the air, it's actually gonna disappear, you know, because the entire match and game and shit like that reset. So you should actually think about this. It's a very nice way to just get rid of a gun instead of having to go to, like, within the map, go somewhere and toss it over a fence or over a pair of bricks or some bullshit like that. Fun little fact about that, though, is that in the CT spawn right here, that option is actually a lot more viable than anything else. Yeah, here we can see the enemy hesitating again. They should never have done that, because I'm only one guy. I'm not sure if I get picked off or... No, actually, they try and rotate, and I'm not sure how it ends, so let's find out. It's kind of interesting to look at how my teammates were playing stuff. Ah, that was very lame. But then he took him, so I guess it was fine. I don't know what happened here. Did I beat him or not? Well, anyways, that's gonna be a little surprise. So, yeah, I was gonna mention the aspect of tossing the gun away before the round is over or restarting, if you want to upgrade. In CT here, it's very important to do. Oh yeah, I actually did get killed here. I didn't hit the enemy at all. Yeah, just spoiler alert. Yeah, what the fuck was I gonna say? Yeah, in the spawn right here, as CT, it's very important to toss down the gun before anything. And the reason for that is just, oops. It's because, you know, you can't actually throw away the gun down into the spawn. It's as easy or as difficult as that. So, yeah, that was that little tangent of the money game. Other thing about the money game is to try and read what the enemy has or what they've currently bought. You can easily do this if you understand the metagame of what gives what money. So, for example, if you know that the enemies, they have like an AWP or some bullshit like that, you know that every kill that he gets is gonna be very invaluable. But again, the fact that he bought the gun is very expensive, because it's like 4,750 monies for the one up. Not to mention, at times, if you buy that a lot of often, he might, you know, not be able to afford a pistol that could assist him as a secondary, or other things in general. So, like, it all depends on the situation right here. Even though, again, they could actually afford right here, like, I mean, like, we found it to be a little bit incredible and weird and crazy that they had so many AWPs, but shit just happens. Well, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, here, fun little thing. Actually passed the guy, but I died anyways, obviously, so it was no big deal. Because my teammates were still at the case. But yeah, about predicting the enemy's money, like a bomb plant, it will only give so and so much money, but it's spread across all the different enemies. But for terrorist side, like if they win a round by killing all the enemies, they only get like 1,600 or something like that, or 1,800, and then it increased by 300 or some bullshit like that. And then you get like 800 plus per person, or I think it's 600 now, 600 per person. Each, which is, it's nice, it's not that much, but it makes it so that after the couple of first rounds, approximately 2,400 is what the T side will have. If they go in, they plant the bomb and they fail, because you always also get losing money. So like, there's a lot of money into play here, but the formula is pretty basic after you get used to it and after you play the game a lot. Like, it should not be hard for you to just understand the subgame if you study it, or if you play a lot. I guess you could say that after approximately 200 games, you should just know it by the sense. Because personally, I don't actually know all the numbers. I've just played the game so much, I don't really think about it. And that is as far as I take my thoughts.
So, yeah, what else is there to mention? Well, I should just clear that, like, make it clear which guns gives what money. So, with a pistol, the kill reward is default, except for the deagle, I think. I'm not sure, that could be off. But it's like 300 bucks. It's only 66% for the P90, I think, and the AWP. Yeah, basically resting it all to... isn't it like 150 for both? I think so. I could be off on the P90, but that's not too much of a big deal. The rest of the submachine guns though, it's only like times 2 the kill reward, or 200%, and then it's 300% for the shotguns. The LMGs, I think it's just default 100%. As for the yeah, the shotguns, that's 300, I mentioned that. As for the knife kill, that's actually, I believe, like 600% killer reward. Like, one stab gives you, is it 1,500? Yeah, it is. So, actually getting a knife kill, it could actually be a crucial thing when it comes down to playing against the enemy on a pistol round. And, like, it could be the decider, but again, it's really just difficult to get a knife kill anyways, so whenever you do it, you should try and make sure that the enemy is facing the other way and that you've got a proper flank and shit like that. I mean, I played another game today and I was able to get a very satisfactory knife shank, but again, like, you can't really rely on that stuff, so there's nothing more to mention about that. You should rather go for gun kills, because the chance for you to be left alive is a lot bigger. Alright, yeah, I thought I saw on the little minimap that he was about to head into some kind of battle. Let's see what happens here. I'm not even sure if I do anything. Yeah, actually, yeah, I killed a guy, my bad. Yeah, here I actually fuck around with a lot of guns, so I just need to play the game more in order to get warm again. Because I've actually done a lot of gun practice in general, whether or not it's like quick target practicing or any other things. Yeah, here, by the way, I'm able to get a great spray on both of them, pretty much leaving them dead. And by the way, yeah, I should have mentioned that about the money game. If the game, like, if the match is over and you kill a terrorist, he does not get any money at all. So that last kill right there that I got in this very nice juicy assist on, that was actually really nice, because this means that the enemy team now, the money isn't as good as it could be. I mean, look at him. One of them literally can only afford a Glock, because that's what he spawned with. So I feel a little bit sad for him, but not really. It left us infinitely a lot more, I guess you could say that we had a bigger chance at actually doing something compared to anything else. Well, he got a P250, but still... You know, like, him having an assault rifle and an AK-47 would have put so much more pressure onto us. So the fact that the enemy did not really think and focus on the time there, that really screwed them up. But that all comes down to actually playing the game. Like, there was a time limit for anything and everything, and so you should just get used to all of those things. I mean, everything from pulling up different guns to dragging out the knife to planting the bomb. Planting the bomb takes exactly 4 seconds. Everything from that to how long it takes for people to rotate around on the map, stuff like that. Like, you should get used to it. You should learn how to play all of those things, and eventually you'll just know it by the feel. But again, the clock is always on the middle of your fucking screen, so you can just, you know, poke your eyes up, and you get that instant feedback. Here I made an obvious mistake, but shit happens. And why so serious here, standing with a P90? Actually a very good choice when you think about how much he was lagging. It's not too visible at, I believe this is, yeah, it's actually a 64-tick demo. I didn't know that. Well, that's my bad, but again, I didn't expect so much from GoTV, to be honest. I just didn't. Like, in my head, GoTV is really shitty. But I'm not sure if this is GoTV. I guess the demos that are recorded officially are at the 64-tick. But anyhow, like, him actually playing with a couple of cheap guns up close and shit like that, it's very beneficial when you think about the lag that he was experiencing. From that perspective, it didn't have too much choice, so, you know, nothing else you can really do. Yeah, here I think he actually had success. Am I sure about that? He was playing everything properly, though. And our teammate are, like, rushing down here and everything, so this actually went our way. Did it? Oh yeah, it actually did, cause so the enemy was faking. Are you for real? Okay, so you learned so much about watching the demos. The thing here was that I told Why So Serious that you should just wait until the time is up, he can't plant the bomb, and the enemy faked it like a split second after 4 seconds. So I was like, yes, we made it. I just said that, and then he played what he was supposed to do, and it all worked out. So, you know,
keeping up with all the small details, that is actually something that could elevate the game a lot. Now again, for example, the enemies are completely and utterly 100% forced to just go eco. And it's being a bloodbath here on long. The enemies are just getting fucking railed up. Like, the two teammates over there weren't doing too much of a good job, but I just left them to it for the most part. There was not too much more to do about it, but, you know, about it, because they were just doing weird shit, and they didn't afford jack shit, because, you know, we just fucked their money so hard. Which is actually, I guess I should mention this, actually planting the bomb before the time goes out is gonna play a lot into the money game. Like, it's so crucial to be able to properly do that. You don't even... You can't, like, it's insane. Like, because the enemy there wasted time and did not plant the bomb, because of that fact, you know, the earlier round in which the guy forced them to do the eco that we just watched, because of that play, that infinitely meant that the entire team had to do an eco. The good thing about T-side is that you actually get to buy a couple of cheaper guns, and you have a lot less to think about. For example, CT-side just need... Wow, they hurt us a fuck ton. I actually didn't remember that. Like, if you think about CT side compared to T side and what you need to buy on CT side, you need to buy a fucking kit. The M4A1 and the M4A4 now have equal price, which means that it's very, like, they both serve a different play style. Yeah, I thought it was a bit weird here that they could afford both. But, like, they both serve two nice play styles. Like the M4A4 and the M4A1. For example, with the M4A4, you got 30 extra bullets in the clip and 1 extra clip, I believe, which leaves you with a fuck ton more bullets. The aftermath of that is gonna be that you can do so much more. You can spray here and there, you can just take blind shots through the smoke, you can pop fire a fuck ton, and it still won't really, truly, really hurt your game whenever you play and stuff like that. So that's actually really nice, just in the sense of how you should do that kind of stuff. But from another perspective, wow, I didn't know that the enemy actually went left there. Wow, the things that you see at the replay, that's crazy. But anyways, yeah, like, they both serve different styles, but they actually do it in a proper way, because the M4A1, it's so much more accurate, so you're still going to be able to get a lot of benefit out from just using it, despite how the gun is, like, you know, limited by the bullet count and stuff like that. If you people have watched Scream play, he has easily been, at times, been able to pop 4 people with only headshots with the goddamn M4A4. Yeah, by the way, here, a slaughter is about to appear. Let's see if we can find the first guy. Yeah, okay, I'm just wanna watch this, because it's very interesting. Like, for some weird reason, the enemy actually were prepared for this kind of shit, so that was weird. But again, our teammates did not really play that properly. They should have rushed all the way up. Yeah, he went down. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we got completely crushed. Yeah, I was talking about the money game and what we were going to buy on the sites. Yeah, okay. I got a bit sidetracked. It's so interesting to see the game that I just played. So, yeah. Okay, about the buying stuff. So, CT side, they need to buy guns that are, in general, a lot more expensive. And they also need to... Yeah, he got slaughter. We also need to buy a kit. That means that it's like, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's $900 of just general gear that a CT should have, that they need to buy every round. In which means that you either need to buy a shittier gun, or you need to only buy Kevlar. On CT side, buying Kevlar instead of buying, you know, a full armor with helmet and stuff like that, and then buying a I don't know, a shittier gun and not buy kit. I mean, you can switch it up however you like, but you should try and time that with your teammates. That's all I can say on that topic. But in the end of the day, it gets a lot more annoying to play CT side now when we don't get that 200 extra credit of buying the M4A1 instead of the M4A4. But again, the game was apparently so a little bit too CT sided. Personally, I don't really think it's too much of a bad thing whether or not a game is CT sided or T sided. Even though, again, the guys over at Valve and stuff like that, they've recently been able to, I guess you could say, balance it out a little bit more, especially with the CC nerf and stuff like that, and also making the tech a little bit better. And they also switched up the sound, so it became a little bit more updated, which was a nice thing. Yeah, here I was able to call the enemy's position very easily. So yeah, we got a lot of info there. Oh, is he gonna be able? Oh no, he wasn't. Well, he was in a funky position. He should have rather just shot regularly. Yeah. Anyways, that's too... fuck's sake, that's enough about the bullshit with the both sides and what kind of guns they have and all that bullshit. It's not too important. You should just try and balance it out. So if you are on the buy round, you should always just remember that if you're on the CT side, actually buying only a vest, it's not too bad. I mean, the enemy could accidentally just use a pistol and dink you, but still, chances are that they are gonna have AK-47s because they're more cheap. So it's gonna fuck you in the length anyways. So, you know, that is just how it goes. Alright, so what is happening here? Yeah, it was an eco round, and well, it wasn't an eco, it was a pistol round, and we was able to come out victorious. And I was actually able to buy full nades because I got a kill. And also I was able to contest 2 people middle for a long time, helping out the team a lot, being able to get that A control. So that helped us out a lot. Here, the enemies are actually just fumbling around and doing a lot of bullshit. I was able to call it though, and we lost a guy actually as well. So we just had to take it from there. I mean, we knew that they were not, you know, bought up too much, but they actually decided to do a pretty convincing force when I'm looking at it from the retrospect. That would actually, believe it or not, cost them though, because not having head armor against whatever the fuck we would decide to buy, that is actually playing directly into our cards of, you know, buying something that is going to kill people without head armor easily. In which yeah, the MP7 right here, it's pretty good. And by the way, right there, I actually faked going short, if you didn't know. So I was just still here trying to milk information. It was a really shitty fake for short though, but these enemies are overthinking anything. So when I now heard him shoot and stuff like that, I decided to try and jump down here. Also, it was like coincidentally synchronized with the... yeah, I picked up the smoke. It was also coincidentally very, very nice with the grenade that popped, but I was not able to time that properly at all. Like, if you can time jumping down around a guy and also exploding a nade properly, that should probably be easier at LAN party, I would think. That is when you're able to do the serious plays, because then a grenade blows up, it masks the sound of you jumping down right behind the guy, and then you can like run up and shank him or some bullshit like that. But anyways, that is just, you know, above hardcore. So yeah, I'm still here going good at the MP7, and a teammate actually called that there was a dude at dark, so I was just playing this really carefully, and he, believe it or not, held a really shitty position, so he was not gonna get jack shit from me. And with the MP7 being such a furious gun, and them actually had force bought as well, which we didn't know, by the way, because, you know, getting a hit on an enemy without or with armor, it looks pretty bland. I mean, like, if I think about it, I could probably decipher, is that what you call it? Wait, what the fuck is this guy doing? Wow, are you for real? Oh, that was what they did. Yeah, there was a little feud here about what the fuck happened on the B site, but we didn't really get to experience that before we now went into theater mode. So there was actually a guy camping there all the time. That caused a little bit of a weird conversation inside the game right here when we initially played. Yeah, what the hell was I gonna say? Yeah, about the timing and the LAN stuff and stuff like that. It's not too important though, it's just, you know, the next level stuff. Yeah, there we should have actually tossed the gun away, but I decided not to do so. So I was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna try and take the positions and fuck up these enemies that were forced to do a complete eco because they bought. But I didn't know that though. Here I actually caught the glimpse of the guy on short, but he ran away. So I think, like in most cases, they could try and camp and maybe get greedy, so I decided to toss a nade. Did a lot more damage than I would have thought. No, I didn't. But still, yeah, the second nade the teammate tossed there was better. Here, by the way, I'm trying to fish out the enemies. Yeah, wow, he did not have armor at all, eh? He got, like, Lieutenant Dan here, he got wrecked. So, yeah, like, the things that the enemy do, like, on T side, he could probably, a lot more times in general, afford to buy an AWP. Just because you get those bomb plants. Like, a lot of times they overthought shit so much, first they got the bomb plant and then they couldn't keep it. Like, getting the bomb plant initially, that is what you're supposed to do at T-side, but you also need to know how to keep it in order to be able to play the game properly so that you can win, right? Well, the enemies right here, they are now trying to do the same that they did on T-side, and it's not working out for them. So, yeah, that is just part of the game. Yeah, here I actually YOLO jumped in. The enemy here, I was like, what the fuck is it doing? Well, guys, we got P. So, yeah, that was kind of fun. Let's see what is going on with the CTs right here. Yeah, so both were outside. And I actually got the glimpse of that guy and just wrecked him. But the other close by guy here, I'm not sure if I found him. Ah, he actually just crossed the corner. Okay, that was quite interesting. In my head, I knew that there was 2 guys there. But for some reason, the other guy disappeared. So I was like, what the fuck? But now I see I was correct all along. That's actually kind of nice, because that means that I'm not getting fooled by the game. I actually, like, the intel I actually got was accurate. I think that's quite nice to know, just saying. So, yeah. What else is there to mention about this game? Yeah, teammate right here actually, yeah, it's currently the second best, the X7M. He got himself a tech. I think that's pretty nice. Like, we're still able to do some work with it. Well, yeah, the guy on long there, he was actually not able to do anything then. But, like, in general, you can actually do a lot of work with the tech. Yeah, here I wanted to go for a knife kill, but I was like, fuck that. Like, the tech, you should not underestimate such a gun. Just because the Tech 9 now, like, it has, I think, like, it's the second or the most highest Norwegian intensifies. It has the highest, second highest at least, armor penetration, which means that you can actually get really goddamn close and still dink the enemy in the face. What that means is that the enemy will easily be able to get defeated, in which you are screwed if you are running up to them with a tech. So to speak, you could claim that the Tech 9 is a little bit overpowered, but in another aspect, you could argue against it, mainly because it's just as inaccurate as the 5.7. Well, at best, I think the first bullet is a little bit more accurate with the tech, but that's about it. So you can at best, like, have an equal fighting chance if you rush somebody with it at close by, but that's about it. So yeah, I was able to easily kill him there. Like, that CT did a great job with that Urban Hazard. He did a great job. I don't even remember if he had armor, but that's not too important right now. So yeah, you should not underestimate the tech. The tech has turned into the deco, as it was called in Source. The deco, really nice. Like, you buy armor, you buy a Desert Eagle, and the Desert Eagle was essentially so accurate and good, it would compensate for a primary gun to some degree, a lot bigger of a degree, in which you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted. Like, you could at least get a legitimate try, because it was so dependent. The thing about the tech is that I would say personally that it is now getting to that point, so it's a bit weird, but you know, shit happens. By the way, about what I did on middle air, I actually baited out a shot because I figured that these guys aren't as good as I am. And fun fact, like, whenever I play the AWP Lego maps, because it's actually one of the AWP maps that I've actually downloaded. If you don't know, on Windows 10 we get restricted for some stupid ass reason. We just can't download a lot of maps yet. I guess it's some bug that used to be with Source, but it's now gone. Yeah, here I caught him out with a nade, so unlucky. Yeah, what I was gonna say was that is like my preferred map when it comes down to playing AWP. And the fun thing though is that you get to train a lot of just basic stuff with the AVP, even though again actually playing with the AVP on deathmatch servers is gonna be what is gonna benefit you a lot more, because you're gonna get a little bit more of a realistic realistic practice with the AWP. But still, just playing pure reaction and flick training, it's gonna be very valuable for anybody who want to get better at the AWP. The result that I want to go to though is that when I play those AWPer maps, I am able to get, you know, like the second, third or first place pretty easily. Like last time I played, I just did a little practice earlier today before I was gonna play this match right here and stuff like that, and I was just wrecking. I was able to get 160 kills in one game, in which I believe one game is like 10 or 15 minutes. So it was pretty satisfying, to say the least. Like, I'm just playing, like, I just play a lot and I react and I get those nice positions, and I understand how to get an advantage over the enemy by positioning myself and by fishing them out with the shoulder peak, as it's called, and stuff like that, and eventually it will work. Now, while I'm playing on Dust 2 here, I'm not doing the shoulder peak as often as I should. The shoulder peak is a lot better if you want to play tunnels, or if you want to play, well, you got tunnels and long, yeah. In those two places, I would say that they are the most important. Like, you could do it on short as well if you want to go A and stuff like that. Yeah, here I fucked up so badly, by the way, because I didn't recognize that he could have pushed. My bad. But yeah, like, only in a couple of places you can actually do those kind of things. But yeah, he fucked up so bad. That was quite fun to spectate. But the aftermath, though, is that I do something else instead, okay? I've switched it up a little bit. Like, I've also seen pros do this, but the thing though is that it's so risky and you are so set whenever you are prone. It's maybe a little bit too dangerous to do. Anyways, I like to dodge behind that box that series is at, called Xbox in some cases, or mid-box, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I like to just dodge up and down and like take weird positions and weird angles that are not predictable. In that way, I can maybe, because I'm only peeking up and down really quickly, I can fish out results of the enemy, like maybe pop a shot. Now it's my turn to peek, and I have the advantage, which means that I can now, you know, shoot the enemy before he can shoot me, which means that I got a bigger shot at hitting him in his head or hurting him, in which, you know, only hurting the enemy would be just as good. That was actually the nice try of the enemy team, but I'm not sure if that is going to pay out at all. Series actually missed there. I think like one of our teammates died here, but we were still able to do some good work. And like here, he's actually being a little bit too impatient, but it was all good. Now I remember what happened. Both survives, but the enemy is being a goon, and he ran into a P250 bullet. So yeah, I guess I should mention a little bit about the P250 before we are done here. I think it's lame as hell that it has been emptied by the clips. Like, now it has 3 clips, it used to have 5. Like, I would have been fine with 4. I mean, I'm not kidding. I've actually run empty a couple of times with the P250 because it has so much less ammo. Which means that though eco rounds, they get a little bit nerfed again, but people have actually mentioned, and I can agree, that eco rounds, they're almost too easy to do, and personally I don't think they get any easier with the Tech 9, you know, being buffed and shit like that, and also the 5.7 being as good as it is, because if you have the good angle, and if you know what the fuck you're doing, and if you were able to get a good spawn, the Tech 9 and the 5.7, it will still be as lethal, if not a little bit better than the P250 with 5 magazines. So I just think it's a little bit annoying that they decided to do that kind of nerf. Now the good thing though is that the P2000 actually got its magazines back. Fun thing is that I'm actually not too used to just run with the... that's a nice snipe there. Another? Oh yeah, that's another one. He got flashed to fucking hell though. But yeah, what the fuck was I gonna say? Yeah, about the P250. No, the P2000, yeah. I think it's nice what they did to it, but still, on the flip side, I'm like, well, why the hell are you even touching the pistol ammo clip? I mean, it's a pistol. It's gonna be incredibly goddamn weak. Playing with a pistol all the time because it has ammo, that's only gonna be so and so valuable. Like, it's a pistol. Like, it has incredibly short range. A couple of them are really strong up close, and that is where it ends. You see, like, if that guy was already hurt, it's gonna get dinked anyways, in which, what the hell does it matter to nerf the pistols that much? I think it's a lot more nice to be able to have something that you can depend on, rather than having to invest, like being forced to invest, because it makes the game a lot more interesting, and it also makes it so that you can play the game a lot more. Like, I'm still finding myself buying the P250 and the 5.7 and the Tech 9 and all that kind of crap, whether or not that's the goal, but still... it just limits the game a little bit, I would say. I mean, the bigger nerfs should rather be put on the... at least a little bit. Maybe remove 1 or 2 clips on the 5.7 and the Tech. That would make a lot more sense, mainly because that gun is an investment. I mean, still, the P250 is a small investment, but it's a investment. I mean, yeah, just my perspective on it. I would say that it would make the game a lot more balanced in general compared to... yeah, I actually just got him on the field because I saw where he disappeared and I shot. But yeah, like, it just makes more sense in my head instead of just power bombing the living shit out of the P250. So yeah, that's my little rant about the shitty P250. That was really good. So yeah, here I'm just fishing for information, looking whether or not the enemy's gonna do something. And I actually figured I would do a little interesting play here, because nobody of us had actually done this, and it worked out a lot better than I thought. Yeah, Okra actually got killed on, it was short, yeah, lost the bomb, that was really shitty, but we were able to make the most out of the round still, as you'll be able to see quite soon. Quite soon indeed. Yeah, quickly about my guns, by the way, I think I should mention this, because the round will, the games will keep on going a little bit. Oh, so the other guy was that close, huh? Oh, this is fun. He just got wrecked. I can believe this guy here is trying to, like, do some bullshit. Then we double team the shit out of him, but still it's now like 2v1. So yeah, what I was gonna say about the guns, I've actually bought myself a new AK-47, a new P250 stat rack, and it's a factory new P250 by the way, and a new 5.7. I only did it because Norway actually have a... not the new team, but they have a different team. So if you don't know, London Conspiracy, that was the team name and the team, or well, the roster that they had as a CSGO team. Those guys were Norwegian, but they got tossed out, I don't know for what reasons, but then they got picked up by LGB. And I actually found a very interesting way in which you can find a lot of stickers and stuff like that, which I will make a video about it, even though again it should be a little bit known by now. in which you can actually search up stickers. So now with the same roster, I believe, or a very similar roster at least, being picked up with LGB, you know, that kind of esports company thingamabob thingy. I'm shitty at English, okay? With that, you know, with them being picked up, and with it also the matter of fact that the stickers for yeah, the stickers for LGB Katowice 2014, like those stickers are in general so old and so rare. Ah, my bad, I should have actually been onto that fight, but yeah, they won. So anyways, that's, yeah, that's just my bad, I'm shitty here. But what I was gonna mention is that LGB, there are actually a couple of old Katowice stickers out there that I was able to find on specific skins, which in essence meant that I actually bought a couple of skins for a relatively cheap price. That should have been like 3 or 4 times the price. Like, even the AK-47, so I just figured I would mention that if people in the future are gonna wonder, like, why is all of those skins gone? No, seriously, I do not trade. I only collect skins. I'm probably gonna have a fuck ton of skins eventually, and, you know, that's gonna be interesting and stuff like that, but I do just, inside my head, giving away skins, or just selling skins that I've used for a long time, it doesn't work like that. Oh my god, I dodged a nice bullet there, huh? Didn't actually see the guy. No, actually I did. I was like still trying to fish him out, which didn't work, I think. Nope, it didn't work. He actually fucked up and was too delayed. So yeah, I'm not sure if we were able to win here or not. I have no idea. I think we might have. But yeah, it was one of a hell of a fun game. Like, a lot of stuff happened. It got a little bit more stale in the end because we were so much more effective at just breaching through and killing the enemy and communicating and planning and hearing and like calling and shit like that. Wow, so many enemies left. It's just a slaughter at this point. Here I killed the guy, and yeah, it should be a GG in the second with 2 Glock hits. But yeah, it was a really fun match. Just a lot of chaos happened, and I was finally able to rank up again from the stupid fucking DMG, because actually D-ranked if you didn't know, but shit like that happens. So yeah, I actually dinked that guy 2 times. That was crazy. The Glock is a little bit too weak at that range, I would say. But, you know, shit happens. So, you know, that was actually the game. I just wanted to show off. Hopefully people learned a lot of things. Hopefully you got to see a lot of my perspectives on the game. And small, nice things here and there on T and CT side that you should think about. There's a million more smaller things to just delve into and talk about, so hopefully you'll stick around and hopefully you enjoy this video. If you enjoy this YouTube channel and if you decide to support the entirety of the channel and everybody else that are subscribed to it, I would recommend that you would maybe donate some kind of skins that you don't use or don't like that you have laying around, or you could actually become a Patreon, in which you also get to participate in a giveaway. So you know, I got all that information in the description below. So hopefully you people enjoyed watching this little video here. In the end, I think I should actually go through all the guns here. I've said actually a million times, yeah? You better hate me. So here we got the AK-47 that I'm now gonna use a little bit. I actually wanted a battle-scarred StatTrak red laminate for a long time. But when I found this one, I actually recognized that like 2 of the stickers are really old and expensive, and the third one is like decently expensive, so I'm just gonna keep them on, but still I'm not really routing for any teams. I just enjoy that logo in general, I'm not kidding, and also with it being Norwegian, why not get one? Like, fuck's sake. I also got it a bit cheaper than you were supposed to. So that's the AK-47. You know, like, I'm still gonna use the good old-fashioned black laminate right here, which looks surprisingly sexy with that skull on. So yeah, also I got 2 other pistols, which is the Virgin. I'm gonna call it that because like it doesn't have any kills. It's a foil Katowice LGB sticker. It's a factory new steel disruption. So yeah, just figured I would get that one because it was incredibly cheap. And also, lastly, but surely not whatever the fuck you say in that sense, here we got a regular LGB sticker. It's on the Kami 5.7. I actually enjoy this skin, so I was able to get it here. I'm not sure of condition though, doesn't matter too much. Oh, factory new. Well, so you know what, that's the game. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If at least not, slap on a like, that would mean a lot for me and all the other people. So anyways, have a nice day people, and don't get beastified when you play.